What's up?
Don't let it worry you. Just keep your eyes open. The word is, our masters are not very pleased with you. Do you know what I think?
You think?
I think you're up to hearing it.
The word from Control is no.
But he promised.
How long have you been in this business? What does a promise mean?
I was told if I wasn't happy with the setup, I could pull out.
You're not thinking of going to the other side.
I don't wish to play the heavy. Not my style. But if you persist in this negative attitude, it'll only result in my having to call in our contract people.
Is that a threat?
Take it whichever way you wish.
Ask me, old chap. I think you're being rather silly.
It's my career that's at stake. You can't make me do it.
I believe we can. Hello, 17. Our friend is coming in your direction in my car. Head him off into the red area. There's no way out. The organization's too big for you. You'll just have to go through with it. You. By the way, hope it goes well.
What do they have to do to you lot to get you here? See, Mrs. Thatcher's cuts have reached the BBC. What? For the whole of the show? Well, always bring my own. You know the thing about drinking on television? People are fascinated to know what is in the glass. They're always asking me, well, what's in the glass? Is it whiskey, gin, vodka, rum, brandy? Yes. We are, as you might know, we are in the middle of Christmas holiday. And I'm only telling you that because there might be somebody out there who has somehow managed to miss all the ballyhoo about Christmas that started in October. Have you ever thought about what an extraordinary season Christmas is? Totally sane, normal people will rush off into the countryside and tear down holly trees, rip them asunder, grab great armfuls of ivy, climb to perilous heights to grab a piece of mistletoe. For a month before the Christmas, the whole nation is walking around with trees under their arms, in cars, all this, and nobody is surprised. He says, what for? When you think we bring a 12-foot tree into our sitting room to decorate it, and the whole family sits there and say, oh, that tree looks lovely. You try doing it in July, they say, what's that bloody tree doing there? How does a custom like Christmas trees even begin? I mean, when you think it began, it's some fellow walking around with a tree, and somebody said, where are you going with the tree? He said, I'm taking it home. What are you going to do, burn it? I'm going to put it in the room. You are? Yeah. And then I'm going to cover it in tinsel and lots of little glass balls, chocolate figures, and I have this brilliant idea of putting a fairy right up the top. And nobody says, you're a bloody lunatic. They all say, that's a great idea, I'll do it. And, wait, turkeys, 12 months of the year. We wouldn't dream of eating turkeys. Come Christmas, we all run around saying, gotta have a turkey, let's have a turkey, turkey. Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without turkeys. Mind you, it's just as well we eat turkeys, otherwise the world would be up to its bum in them. And cards, we all send each other cards, Christmas cards. You know, the screwiest Christmas card I've got this year, which wishes me peace and prosperity, comes from Bomber Command. It's Christmas is a kind of period of giving and receiving presents. Now, I don't know about you, but I generally get soap or bath salts or shampoo, shaving cream, handkerchiefs, socks, cigarettes, books, and booze. I have a clearly defined picture of how my friends see me. Here's the thing, that when you think of the Christmas period, the 12 days of Christmas, this nation consumes more alcohol in the 12 days than any normal month. Now this is, why do we drink alcohol? If you met somebody from outer space who knew nothing about alcohol, and you said, here, have a glass of booze. You said, why? He said, well, drink it. And he tasted it. Yuck! Tastes awful. Well, drink it. But why? It'll make you feel good. It'll make you happy. Witty, bright, sharp. Anything else? Yes. Make you sad. Makes you depressed, makes you cry, gives you headaches, makes you bad-tempered, makes you want to shoot your wife, makes you miss. Gives you double vision, shakes, destroys your stomach lining, kills your liver, causes hardening of the arteries, and total destruction of the brain cell. Why do you drink it? For pleasure. What else? You know what Christmas is? Christmas, it's the noise of the music. All the Christmas music is so noisy. It's the church bells are ringing. Church bells at eventide. Angel bells, jingle bells, sleigh bells. Hear the angel trumpet sound. Hark the herald angels sing. Shout hallelujah, ye choirs of heaven. Ding dong merrily on high. Blow trumpeter, the babe is born. You think with all that noise going on when he was born, those three wise men wouldn't have needed a star. You say, God, listen, that's where he is. Forget about the stars. Let's do it. And then when I heard that little drummer boy, his little drum, rum, rum, rum. Can you see the Virgin in the stable? and all the din from heaven has stopped. The choirs and the trumpets, the heavenly bells. She's just got her newborn babe to sleep. And who comes marching up the road? Boom, boom, boom.
Shall I play to him upon my drum? Boom, boom. No! Joseph, tell that kid to stick that drum up his bum!
And have you thought what we ask children to believe in a Christmas? I mean, I'm Irish, and I know that we Irish are superstitious. I mean, even our leprechauns are superstitious. We actually ask our children to believe in an enormously fat, red-faced, 1,600-year-old man who, to make himself less conspicuous, because he doesn't wish to be seen by the children, dresses in a bright red suit with white fur edgings, black shiny boots, and a big hat with a bell. And for 364 days of the year, he lives in the North Pole with lots of elves, gnomes, and fairies. Whose total vocabulary seems to consist of ho, ho, ho. My name is Sandy Claus. Would you like to sit on my knee? And for the rest of the year, we're telling them not to talk to strangers. And not only that, but we tell them that when he leaves the North Pole on Christmas Eve to bring us our presents, his means of transport is a sleigh drawn by reindeer who fly and guided by one whose nose is so bright that it equals the wattage of an anti-aircraft searchlight. And then when he gets here, he manages to break into 17 million homes. Down the chimney. The chimney. Every house has doors, windows. Surely that is the easiest way to get into a house. Open the door. Even a simpleton would know that. But not Father Christmas. This silly fat fart has to come down. You look at the facts. In Europe alone, there are nearly 150 million homes, and he goes through the lot in 8 hours. That means he lands on your roof, gets down your chimney, dumps the present, and is out in 1/5,000th of a second. Are you surprised nobody sees him? What was that red blur? Oh, look. And in each house, he has a mince pie and a glass of sherry. That means that he eats 3 tons of mince pie and drinks nearly 1 million gallons of sherry. And then we don't see him for another year. Are you surprised? Actually, if it appears that I am being cynical about Father Christmas, I don't really wish to give that. Because I really am. I'm one of the few adults who does believe in Santa Claus. I do. I also believe that money grows on trees, that there are fairies in the bottom of the garden, and that Margaret Thatcher is all hot. I also believe that we have some sketches to show you. Yeah. Well, let's see what we can bag for the Christmas dinner, eh?
Oh, good idea, yeah.
You can tell El Presidente that El Christmas dinner is sad.
I have a gift for El Presidente. A Christmas stuffing that will make him go boom.
Slay my little cactus flower. Now eat.
But of course.
Oh, what a magnificent turkey. Delicious, exquisite, so full of goodness. But can I, El Presidente, eat while the poor peasants starve? No, I cannot. This turkey shall be my gift to them. Hey, peasant!
Be faithful, joyful and triumphant, O come ye to Bethlehem.
Happy Christmas, darling.
Thank you very much. Oh, darling, thank you so much. It's just what I need. You are clever. My God, Sergeant, Christmas Day. What is this all about? What are we all doing here? Us here, Germans over there, French over there, Belgians, the Italians. What is this nationalistic madness? It's Jerry singing.
Alles schlecht, einsam war, nur das traute, auch heiliger Paar.
That's not bad.
Holder Knaber in lockigen Haar, schlürft in himmlischer Ruhe, schlürft in himmlischer Ruhe.
Very good. Yes, yes.
And now, please, your marks for the Germans. From the United Kingdom.
One of the most difficult things to do over this Christmas period regarding children's presents is to buy a present that actually fosters the spirit of peace and goodwill. I mean, you go into a toy shop, you see toys like Attack, Battleship, Doom Watch, Atomic War, Holocaust. And I'll tell you what I hate most is when a child especially asks Father Christmas for one specific toy. And you, the parent, go up and bring it back and you watch him open it with great joy on his face. And there are no batteries in it. And you tear the box to pieces looking for batteries. And there, at the bottom of the box, written on a little piece of paper, in the box, says, no batteries supplied. And you try to get out of this by explaining to your child that Father Christmas has a tremendous amount to do. He's very busy, and he's got all those homes to go to, and he's old, and sometimes he forgets. You see, and the little face. And you say, but I mean, you do have other presents. Why don't you play with your nice big toy car that you've got in?
I can't.
Why can't you play with it?
Because that doesn't have any bloody battery either.
You come across something like, it says unbreakable toy. Unbreakable. That is a direct challenge to any child. He's not going to play with it. He's going to try and smash it. He will spend hours of endeavor, total destruction. And the toy at the end of the day is totally intact. The dog is dead. His mother-in-law is in hospital with major concussion. The house is in ruins. But the toy does not have a mark. How toys change. I mean, years ago, dolls were dolls. Girls' dolls, they used to just sit there like idiots. Sometimes they closed their eyes, but that was due to a big lead lump at the back of the eyeball. Nowadays, toys, dolls, they walk, they talk, they cry, they giggle, they grow hair, they eat food. They're even toilet trained. There's a new one on the market now that refuses to go to sleep. It wails until it is picked up, hugged, and kissed. What's it going to be like in 10 years' time? I visualize myself spending the whole of Christmas pulling Action Man off Cindy Dog. There's a change in attitude. Action Man. I mean, that actually is a doll for boys. Action Man. He's daring. He's courageous. He's an astronaut. He's a junk. He's a jungle fighter. He's a master of the martial arts. He's a marksman. He's an expert knife thrower. Skin diver. Free fall expert. There is nothing Action Man cannot do. There's one thing he can't do. He can't dress himself. You know, yesterday morning I spent 2 hours trying to get that idiot into a rubber suit. Daddy, I can't get Action Man into his diving. All right, I'll do it. 2 hours. You know what I hate most about him? It's that lifeless expression. No matter what I did to him, I twisted his arm, his left leg over his right shoulder. I had his head turned a full 180 degrees. I had his back bent, his head looking through his legs, over his belly, wondering where his head was gone. Not a whimper. Finally, after 2 hours, I got him dressed. Mind you, he looked like a Camp Quasimodo. And where was my son when I was doing all this? He was out felling trees with the unbreakable toy. I was listening to a couple of children, a few children, 3 years ago, talking about Christmas. And one said, well, what do you do Christmas? Little Catholic boy. And he said, well, I get up and I see myself in.
And then Daddy comes in and we hug each other and we say Happy Christmas. And my sister comes in and says Happy Christmas. And then Mummy comes in and we kiss Mummy. And then we go down and we look at the Christmas tree and all the presents underneath. And before we open it, we all go off to Mass and we thank Jesus for being born, for giving us all the presents. And then we come back and all the presents. And Daddy says, you can open your presents. And we tear open the presents. And he said to the little Protestant boy, he said, well, what do you do on Christmas Day? He said, I get out stockings, and I read stockings, and open them, and we don't go to church because we're Protestants. And then we open all the presents, and I have toys all over the place. I love toys. He said, the little Jewish boy, he said, what do you do? He said, well, my daddy and I, we go down to our toy factory, and we look at all the empty shelves. And we sing 2 choruses of Don't We Have a Friend in Jesus, and then we go to Menorca. You know, my darling, in this light you don't look a day over 14.
I'm not. Christmas wrapping.
Oh, very good. Hat. Christmas hat. Mom.
Bigger.
Hatter. The writer fellow, Alice. Alice, it's coming. Lewis Carroll, Christmas Lewis.
Oh, yes, Christmas. I thought you'd never get it.
I said Christmas Lewis.
But my lady, it's very important.
I say, let him act it out. Come on, child. Come on, man. You can do it, jolly good fun.
No.
Come on, act it out. How many words? Five.
Is it a play? Oh. Say it. Right. First word.
Yes.
This one.
Is the word. First word.
Second word.
Drinking. Drunk. Like drunk. Blotto. Like blotto. Shorter. Lotto. Housey. Shorter. House. The house.
Third word. Yes, very good. Scrooge. Serpent.
Like a snake.
More. Hearing.
Like a snake.
Serpent sound. Hiss.
Shorter than that.
Is. The house is.
Carpet. The house is.
Table.
The house is down. No. Under. On. The house is on. Throwing. House is lighting. House is lighting. House is warm.
The house is on fire.
Good evening. Is this where the wife swapping party is? Certainly is. Bring her in, gentlemen.
That's it. You're off then. Take out. Happy New Year.
Right, Happy New Year.
One for the road.
All right, here she goes.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
locked in attitude. 20 years ago, people used to enjoy food. People would say, eat your food. It's good for you. Nowadays, food has somehow suddenly become unhealthy. It's bad for you. It has things like cholesterol, carbohydrates, words we never heard of. All the time, the back of the mind is a part of them. Oh, I'd love to eat that food. The other part is saying, no, you can't eat it. You mustn't eat it. And they go to bed at night. And they don't have good Freudian dreams. But snakes, spiders, sharks. They dream about apple pie, covered in cream with legs, dancing, eat me, hello. I'm lovely, hello. They have nightmares, they wake up, he's had a nightmare about that apple pie. Everywhere you go nowadays, people are talking about, I lost 4 pounds. I lost 3 pounds. I lost 8 pounds. I lost 16 pounds. I read about a woman the other day who lost 18 stone. Now, one of the first lessons I ever learned regarding mathematics is that matter is matter. It can change its shape, but it doesn't go anywhere. And every time I hear all these people saying, I've lost this weight, I've lost that, I think, where is all this fat? Where is it? Where did he keep it? It's in the drawer upstairs. It's right back in there. What's in the cupboard? Don't go in there. That's where my fat is. It's in black plastic bags underneath the stairs. Every Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the morning. Who's there? Where the fat coming? And then I think to myself, no, hang on a second. It can't be, because every time I hear somebody say, I've lost 3 pounds, I hear somebody else say, I put on 3 pounds. And I think to myself, it's just the one lump of fat that's going through humanity. It's also calories. I mean, when we drink, people tell us. I mean, I am quite convinced, I really am, I'm quite convinced that probably in about 20 or 30 years' time, when you buy food, it will have a health warning on it. Food is dangerous for your health. They'll do it with booze. It'll be on booze, health warning, because they tell us about the calories of alcohol. They tell me that if I have 2 glasses of wine, my calorie intake is so large that to burn off that energy, I should play a game of golf. I have given up drinking red wine because I don't like golf. I don't want to play it. If I have 7 gin and tonics, I should run 4 miles. Can you imagine having 7 gin and tonics? I just want to run. We smokers now are what I would call the modern day leper. We are confined to areas. We're not allowed to mix the clean people. When you get on a train nowadays, there used to be non-smoking compartments on trains. Now you have smoking compartments. 2. You ever notice where they are? One up the front, one down the back. Has anybody here ever heard of a train having an accident from the middle? He died, you know, he's a smoker. No, smoking killed him. No, he's sitting in the front of a train and ran into a wall. Get on an airplane. I mean, I used to fly. When I fly, people used to say, have a nice flight. Nowadays, they say, the first thing they say, you smoke? Yes. Smoking is confined to the area of the left-hand side of the plane. And you go down there. You sit there smoking. And there's a non-smoking area over there. 2 feet away from it. There's a fellow sitting there. And he thinks he's in a healthier area.
I go to the cinema. The first thing they do when I go into the cinema. You smoke? Yes. The smoking area is on the right-hand side of the cinema. And they put a torch on you. You're lit up, and the whole of the cinema is looking at it. It's getting smoke. It's the whole thing of the rule, the message, the note. I mean, when you think about what is bad for us, or what the government think what is bad for us, smoking, drinking, excess eating. Now, in years to come, they're going to start worrying about the population explosion. There's too many people. But they won't tell you not to screw. Because that'll get you out of office. They'll start telling you little things like, are you aware of the damage that the heart is under during the climax of the act of love? They're already starting. I read the other day that it is far safer for a man to have sex with his wife than his mistress. And people will start to think about it. Lying with you. No, well, not. I honestly believe in years to come when you buy a contraceptive, it will have a health warning on it. Sex can be dangerous to your health. Her Majesty's government wishes to inform you. Written in little letters in the rubber. And you'll watch that warning grow before your eyes. Now, what all this has got to do with Christmas, I have no idea. The thing about Christmas is that people always bring religion into it. And we're no different.
Bordeaux. La Tour 61.
No.
Oh, Salome. That was magnificent. And now, for my side of the bargain.
Happiness is a cigar called Baptist.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I can't stop thinking about sex. Every second of the day. Morning, noon, and night. Just sex, sex, sex. But I'm frightened to do it, because when I was young, someone told me that excessive indulgence in pleasures of the flesh made you go deaf.
I wonder, could you speak up, please?
And all because the lady lies.
Prayer that you will hear continually whispered right throughout the Christmas holidays are, please, 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 God, do not let the television break down. You know, one of the things I like about Christmas viewing, that it actually gives me a chance to see the movies that I missed when they were shown last year. The strange thing about Christmas television is that it's all recorded, taped, edited, ready for transmission. If you were to walk into any television station over the Christmas, it'll be totally empty. I mean, you don't actually imagine that when you watched the Queen's speech yesterday that it was transmitted live. You don't actually imagine that she left her lunch, took her paper hat off, wiped the gravy from her chin, run down the corridor saying, I'll be back in a moment. Bagsy, the wishy bowl. Philip, don't feed the dogs at the table. Not like that. To be honest, even I'm not here now. I mean, you're sitting at home thinking, what's that idiot talking about? Of course he's here. I'm not. You might think I am, but I'm not. I'm like you. I'm at home, watching television. The only difference is that you're watching this show and I'm watching the other side. And if you're thinking of changing over, don't bother. It's rubbish. As a matter of fact, it's so bad that the people who are in it are at home now watching this show. And they're thinking of turning over to the BBC Two. What's on BBC Two now? King Singers. Oh, I like the King Singers. I'll tell you what, I'll go off and watch the King Singers. And you stay tuned to this show, and we'll show you some sketches.
Out, damn spot. Out, I say. I said out.
We must inspect this cart. You British fools, always you are trying to escape.
And always we are finding you.
Always, yeah.
Oh!
There is no way the wool you are pulling over our eyes. Rouse, open the gate.
Come on.
What was that song?
It is an ancient Lebanese love song, which tells of the glories of a man's chest.
What does that mean?
It is an old erotic poem from Jordan, and it tells of the glories of a man's stomach. Nagila.
Dearest.
My girdle's killing me.
Rape and plunder! Rape and plunder! Rape and plunder! Rape and plunder!
Please.
Plunder! Plunder! What do you want of me?
Before I go, there's one last thought. We are but 5 days from 1980. And that means that there are only 307 more shopping days to next Christmas. Good night, thank you, and may your feet go with you.